Glory days. What would be your top 10 desert island movies? Huh. 10 movies that I would need to survive on. Mmm. Ah. Okay, everybody, enough of that silliness. Today I'm going to take a look at my top 10 movie list that I would need to survive on a desert island. If I could only have 10 to pick from, what 10 would they be? Well, the funnest part is going to be when you leave your 10 in the comments below. But let's get to work on what mine would be and find out where we stand. All right, at number 10. Okay. First of all, I said to myself, I have to have a Clint Eastwood flick on this list. I have to. It's mandatory. I can't go without one. And I thought to myself, okay, what are the obvious choices? Dirty Harry? Oh, we all love it. We all know it. Is it going to make it? I don't know. Unforgiven? Come on. What more do you need? Josie Wales? High Plains Drifter? But no, I'm not going with any of those. None of them. You know where I'm going? 1977, The Gauntlet. Truly one of my favorite flicks of all time, and this one checks all the boxes. You got motorcycle chases, you got car chases, you got helicopter chases, you got an insane shootout with a bus, you got Clint Eastwood being his awesomest, well, maybe not as most awesomest, but damn close enough, and he is teamed up with the one and the only, his other hand that we all remember from the glory days of his motion picture career, the Sandra Luck. By the way, looking the hottest she ever looked and doing her best acting role. So, number 10, any way you cut it, The Gauntlet. Number 9, okay. When I first got done with this list, I said to myself, my God, I don't have a Star Wars movie on it. That cannot be allowed. And I mean Star Wars for when it was Star Wars. You know what I mean? Not the shit that they put out now. Whatever. I'm talking about Star Wars. So I said to myself, of all the ones, the original 6, what would it be? It would have to be 1980's The Empire Strikes Back. Come on. It ends on a down note. Vader is at his coolest. Han and Leia are starting to get their shit flowing. Everything ends in this like tragic thing where you couldn't wait to see the resolution in the next flick and knew it was going to be several years away. Empire Strike Back is the standard bearer that they're all held up to. We all know it. I know it. You know it. Everybody knows it. People talk Star Wars. They like, is it as good as Empire? It's just the way it goes. Number 8. We're talking about John Carpenter's The Thing. 1982's suspenseful monster little gore fest masterpiece. Performances. Perfect. Special effects. Perfect. Feelings of isolation, dread, and paranoia. Perfect. And where the hell else are you ever going to find a motion picture with an entirely male cast? Exactly. You can't, and you'll never see it again. We are talking about one of the greatest horror flicks of all times. I could not go the rest of my life without seeing this motion picture just how it is. Number 7. A motion picture which is probably more responsible for me getting hit in the head a whole bunch than ever should have happened. We are talking 1976's Rocky. Oh, Jesus. If there was ever a motion picture that made you feel like you could overachieve past your hopes and your dreams, it is this motion picture. We were all there, well, us old ones. We all remember, well, us old ones, how it felt when you seen Rocky Balboa, well, not Rocky Balboa Part 6 or whatever the hell it was, which was actually a good flick, but I'm talking about the original Rocky. How many of you ran out to the streets and just started bashing it out with your friends just because you all wanted to be Rocky Balboa? It was the movie. A motion picture about a guy who wasn't fighting for a title. He wasn't fighting for any of that. He was just fighting to know he wasn't just another bum from the neighborhood. You got the beautiful love story of him and Adrian thrown into it. You throw a love story into a movie about fighting, it usually doesn't work. But this isn't really a movie about fighting. It's just a movie that takes place in the fighting universe, but it's about a man becoming something more than he ever thought he could be. I could not go on for the rest of my life on an island without Rocky there. If I picked 10 other movies and it wasn't in there, I would start swimming and looking for a shark to take me out. It wouldn't make a difference. Rocky has to be there. I love this movie. 1977's Close Encounters of the Third Kind. What? Yes. It is as close to a perfect little movie as you will ever get. I shouldn't say little. I mean, this thing is fucking huge. It's grandiose. It's big. It is what it is. The imagery is perfect. Spielberg was on point. The story was great. Spielberg was on point. The sense of adventure, everything in it is just on point. And actually, it's a little bit scary when you're young. I mean, think about the point where the kid was in the house and he's like, their aliens are attacking or come in, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and they're about to kidnap him and take him away. It is what it is. It's everything that can appeal to all ages on different wavelengths and different levels. It is almost his masterpiece. Almost. Coming in at number 5. 1982. Blade Runner. This movie still to this day floors me, captivates me. I can watch it over and over and over again. I can sit there and watch the documentary, Dangerous Days, which is phenomenal, by the way, over and over and over. I think it is a visual masterpiece and a gut-wrenching story. I remember when it first came out, people thought, well, this thing's a little bit somewhat emotionless, somewhat, they didn't get it. They didn't get that the humanity of the human characters was basically at a level where they didn't have cares and emotions. But the story of the replicants was people filled with emotions, filled with all those things that are related to us on an everyday level. Blade Runner was a gut-wrenching, heart-wrenching story. People finding out they weren't who they were, people wishing that they were more than what they are, and it was just something that captivated me still to this day. I think it has worked so with the American public, the world public. There's a reason it is where it is. Blade Runner is one of the greatest flicks ever made with some of the best performances. Okay. Harrison Ford's a little dry, but that's the way the character's supposed to be. Rutger Hauer is amazing. Sean Young, even though she was young and inexperienced, who probably had one of the most complex roles in the motion picture, delivers. It is what it is. It stands where it stands. Blade Runner, Mount Rushmore. Coming in, number 4. 1982. Hell of a year, by the way. Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Stop yourself where you are right now. There is no other thing in the Trek universe that competes, comes close to, can dethrone, can stand with Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Let's face it, folks. Star Trek with the original series cast is the Star Trek that really matters. Next gen, whatever, alright. Everything after that has been a complete pile of dog shit that I wouldn't even waste my time on. You put that cast in this motion picture with that story, the story of loss and grieving and aging and revenge from Khan, and let's knock the shit off. Montalban was a master. A master. Nobody could have played that role better. Nobody could have played it better than him. And how he wasn't nominated for some kind of fucking awards all over the place for supporting actor or so, I don't know. I guess it was because they were biased against fucking movies about, science fiction and shit like that. Watch him. Watch him. The opening scene with him alone was worthy of something. I mean, dazzling performance. It is what it is. Wrath of Khan, it's the one they measure everything else up to. All those J.J. Abrams flicks to try to get into, I am Khan, fuck you. That was shit. This is the motion picture, plain and simple. Number 3. Oh, 1981. My hero of all heroes. One of the greatest motion pictures ever. I love it. I love it! Escape from New York with the almighty Pliskin. Come on. It does not get better than this. You got Kurt Russell, along with Eastwood, my favorite actor of all time. Period. Playing the coolest character ever put on celluloid. Snake Plissken in a movie about a dystopian future, about New York turning to shit. Bro, that's not fucking far from reality. But you have this setting. You have that motion picture. You have what it is. And you have the ultimate badass character in it. It's bleak. It's dark. There's a couple scenes with some like slightly under the radar twisted humor to it, as life does. And you sit there mesmerized to the screen saying, how did we get here? Often imitated, never duplicated, much like Blade Runner, is Escape from New York. Hell, Carpenter couldn't even duplicate it when he made Escape from LA, which is a shithole. This movie stands above all those in that genre, much like Blade Runner does in it. It is the one that we remember. It is the one that matters. It is the one with the ultimate character. It is Escape from New York. Number 2. What? A third time to Carpenter Island? Yes. Yes, it is. We were talking about the big 78. We were talking about Halloween. The granddaddy of them all. The one that sits on top of the mountaintop. With maybe Psycho just a little bit under it. But the one that garners all the comparisons. We are talking about Mikey Myers. We're talking about Halloween. Come on, everybody. It launched a whole bunch of imitators for like a decade and a half. It was ridiculous. Every time you turned around, there was a Friday to this, or a Saturday to that, or a New Year's this, or a Valentine's Day that. It didn't make a difference. Halloween was the one. And I don't care how many Freddys, Jasons, or Chuckies they come up with. Nobody would strike fear into the heart of your average human being like Michael Myers standing there. Just fucking standing there. He doesn't even have to do anything. He doesn't have to chase you. He doesn't have to do anything. Once you came around a corner and seen that guy with that mask and that jumpsuit, you are like, uh-oh, I'm fucked. It is what it is. It's this little gem that just happened to have all the stars line up with a great director, a good cast, a goddamn prop guy who got the perfect mask and did the perfect thing with it. You know that face. It's burnt into your mind. You'll never shake it. It's an image of evil that you will never, ever, 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 ever understand. It's not just Jason regenerating himself every week. It's not Freddy with the twisted jokes and sense of humor who used to be like this really creepy character. No, there's no reason, there's no rhyme. It doesn't mean anything. The guy is just evil. And that's all you need to know. That's all you will never need to see. Screw all the sequels. They all sucked balls. Forget the reboots. They were all shit. It's the original that matters. And by the way, Season of the Witch Part 3 that had nothing to do with the other ones, fucking loved it. But this one is the one. The Mac Daddy of them all. Halloween. And coming in number 1. And by the way, before I say number 1, let me say, there's some motion pictures that almost pained me to leave off this list. I mean, truly. You know what it was like not putting Terminator on here? Are you shitting me? It was killing me. I love the Terminator. The first one. Love the second one too. The first one could have easily been on this list. Masterpiece. The original Alien. As much as I loved Aliens 2, I have watched the original Alien, I can't tell you how many times. This might get better movie, actually. Whenever I feel like shit or I'm sick or I'm laying in bed and I'm down and out, I put in Alien. I can't even tell you why. I don't know. But it is what it is. I love that motion picture. Come on. Stuff like Assault on Precinct 13. Are you shitting me? Convoy, The Getaway. What? That kind of stuff. Even Willy Wonka in the goddamn Chocolate Factory. Masterpieces that will always be in my heart. The Road Warrior is what it is. But we had to narrow it down. And now we are in the number 1 slot. A movie that I have seen more times than any other motion picture in my life. More time than Halloween. More time than anything. It doesn't make a difference. We are talking about Jaws. And how perfect that it's its 50th anniversary. Isn't it? I love this motion picture. Forget about it. Forget about it. Spielberg has had a bunch of masterpieces. And when I said a moment ago that Close Encounters was almost his masterpiece, who would have thought that his first piece of perfection would come out in 1975 in this motion picture? Jaws is the Mac Daddy, folks. You got the greatest cast you could throw together. Shaw, Dreyfuss, Scheider, and all the supporting characters thrown in there with them. You got directing that can take you from feeling dread and horror and suspense and make you never want to swim again to make you feel like dun 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 dun, and they're all out on the boat chasing the shark, and you're like, this is the greatest adventure since the fucking Goonies. This is it. This is perfect. We're having fun, boys. We're having fun. All that kind of shit moshed into one motion picture. And again, there was things that you could even laugh at. Things that were in there that were perfect. Come on, remember Hooper? Oh, it was just everything a motion picture needed to do, delivered from a young director in his first shot out the gate. He's done other great work, we all know. But how do you top yourself when this is your first real major release? Yes, you had Duel and some other, yeah, I get it. But this was it. How do you beat yourself when you set the bar so high on yourself? He's done other great work. But in my eyes, nothing will ever compare to what he did his first time out. Just the way it is. Anyway, folks, there it is. My top 10 list. Not even spit out some names of some motion pictures that I dearly love that couldn't fit on this list, or really, maybe if you asked me on a different day, would have been on this list. I would have swapped a couple things in and out. It is what it is. Just the way it goes. Anyway, let me know your top 10 list. That's the funnest part, when we look in the comments and I get to see what you think and see how you feel. That's the awesomest part of doing this kind of shit. Anyway, be good. Take care. Stay out of trouble. Be kind to a stranger. Be there for a friend. And most of all, never, and I mean ever, just like Snake Plissken wouldn't, take any bullshit from anybody. See you soon.